Welcome back
Hello.
to the episode of 22, figures not included.
22, big numbers, double digit.
We're making it, baby. Double digits, just having a lot of fun and covering a lot of stuff for the channel. I'm Mikey, of course. This is Ed, naturally, and happy to be here with you all, talking toys and talking all
For
sorts of
sure.
nonsense that we do.
That's what we love to do. Come on here and just talk a bunch of baloney.
Yeah, we'll keep doing it if you keep subscribing. We
Whoever
hit we
will
hit
listen.
we hit 600 subscribers.
Bow, bow,
Look at
bow. Hit it,
that!
Michael. Yeah.
The proud applause.
No, we
With mild
applaud.
enthusiasm.
We applaud the viewers, Michael, for
We
their
do. We
support
applaud
and their
viewers like you
their loyalty.
and their loyalty to us.
Unwavering, undying loyalty.
It's a contract now. Once you subscribe, you can't unsubscribe. You can't
Exactly.
not listen to the show. It's just a life debt at this point.
They're in it for life.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
Chewbacca.
It's like a Chewbacca thing. Do we ever find out what Chewbacca did, or like what someone did for what Han did for Chewbacca?
Yeah. Did you watch the Han Solo movie? Solo?
Nope.
Star Wars story?
Yeah, I don't remember it very well.
Yeah. A lot of people, disregard it. A lot of people like it, but yeah, he saves them from some sort of pit, some sort of like battle pit they were
Mm.
in, and they escaped from the Imperium. So I
Hmm.
think that's what it was.
Do you think
Honestly, I
that's
don't.
enough? Do you think that's enough for a life debt, or like
Well, it
maybe 10
depends.
year debt?
I think it depends on Wookiee culture. I don't know how profound they believe in those kind of things.
If someone broke you out of jail, how long would you give a life debt to? Like, what would be the term?
Oh, I mean, I'd be very indebted. I like 20 minutes. I'm in.
20 minutes. 20 minutes. I'm your man. Whatever you need.
You're in for 20 minutes, whatever you want.
After that, I'm done. I'm out. Okay. All right. All right. It's good to know.
I'm,
So you're
yeah,
like one of the last people that will get busted out because you have no loyalty.
maybe not. Maybe not.
You gotta take care of yourself, man. You gotta take care of yourself. If you can't take care of yourself, who can you take care of?
I guess, Michael. I guess.
Trying to figure that one out. But yes, welcome to the show. How was your week, Ned? Tell me about your week. How's the
So,
store? How are things
good
going?
week. It was a really good, busy week. Very happy with the way things are going. We're getting progress. I know we've talked about a few times, getting ready to move into the bigger store, which I'm super excited about.
Mm.
We're already in August, so it's a month out. I mean, it's getting kind of unsettling because it's like a lot's got to happen, and I just don't
All happening.
know how's it going to happen. So I'm still kind of trying to figure it all out. But I mean, it's a good thing to have on my plate. I'm very excited to do that. I know a lot of people
Hmm.
are excited for us, and so I am just eager to get going on this. I think it's waiting around and be like, oh, when are they going to give us the green light? Let's start.
Right.
So I'm one of those people who I have a hard time kind of like I want to plan everything ahead, but I have a
Mhm.
hard time doing it, and so it's like I just need to like get the green light so I can start doing it.
Yeah.
And until that happens, I'm just a big ball of anxiety.
Well, it's just part of being patient, and it's hard to be patient with something like that big, and
I know.
you put in a lot of thought and time, and you're just waiting for all the pieces to fall into place, and you can get to that finish line, so to speak. But it's exciting, man. It's a nice. This is all part of the journey.
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's gonna
We
be
have
fine. It'll be
we have so many
fine.
cool things planned that I think that's what's really got me so anxious and excited is just because I have so many great things lined up. So, man, I cannot wait to start rolling these things out and see what people think of all the fun things we're planning.
I can't wait to see all the magic that you're gonna share with people.
Hidden Temple Magic.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's a big deal, Michael.
I know it is a big deal. It's gonna be exciting. You'll be there at the door when when it opens,
Welcome.
and people will just be coming in and enjoying their time at the new Hidden Temple store. So,
I know, very
uh,
exciting, very exciting.
yeah, very
Well,
cool.
let's not bore people with the details, Michael. Let's get into something more fun.
Well,
Toys.
I mean, it was toy adjacent, so I thought
Yeah,
it
I was
would
gonna ask you how
make
your
sense.
weekend was going and all that, but I'm like, nobody gives a crap.
Nobody gives a shit about.
We don't care,
Let's move
really.
along. We don't care about your life. We care about the toys. And you know what?
We
I
wanna
agree.
hear
Let's
about
just
toys. We don't care what you guys are doing.
we don't care about your feelings. Let's go into hot toy news. We were talking about Comic Con last Sunday. We kind of did a very quick wrap up show, just explaining my interpretation or my takes, my hot takes that we do here on Figures Not Included about the show. I loved it. It was a great time. I'm sort of replaying everything, talking about sort of the best in shows, and you mentioned Jada and Mondo and Hasbro to an extent as well. But one company we didn't really talk about because they weren't there. They had their own thing going on in Japan. Was Metacom. Metacom famously make MAFEX figures, and we do love our MAFEX figures very much so. And they had their own exhibition, and they had some cool stuff. We kind of briefly talked about it last time. We didn't go through all the bells and whistles, but we talked about like Maverick and some other ones. But they showed off a lot. Was there anything that really stood out to you that made you kind of start getting plump?
Oh, I mean, MAFEX, they really excite me, and this I was quite surprised how much that they had out that really did excite me, and I am really looking forward to some of these releases. A lot of them we kind of knew they were coming. We hadn't
Yeah.
seen them. Some were big surprises. I think I mentioned last time Maverick, one of my favorite X-Men characters, is on the way, and I'm so excited for that one. I was super excited when Marvel Legends did them, so I cannot wait for a
Yeah.
Mayfix one because the quality of the Mayfix is just it's so good, and I know they're going to
Mhm.
do such an amazing job with that character. So very exciting. Anything X-Men related? The Oh my gosh, I actually was thinking of finding my original one. That was something that slipped my mind. The Iceman. Man, this Iceman
Oh
looks so
yeah.
good. I love that they went ahead and did the clear plastic. Hasbro's done a few Icemen, but they've kind of used that kind of like more opaque, kind of gelatinous plastic that isn't the best. And what reminds
Right.
me, and this is why I wanted to bring my original one. If you remember the old Toy Biz, 5-point articulated one, there was clear plastic. They did two versions. The original was like clear white, and then the second
Hmm.
version was like a blue tint, but they were still see through. And
Yep.
I love that figure. I can't tell you how many times I put that thing in the freezer, and watched them ice up. I mean, it was such a cool figure, and he just looked perfect. He looked like
Yeah.
he was made of ice. And Mayfek, they kinda went with the bluish tint on this one, which, I don't mind. I like the way it's looking. It reminds me of the second iteration of that Toy Biz one. But very cool to add another X-Men to the line. There he is. He looks so much fun. I cannot wait to mess
Yeah.
around with this one. I
He looks
hope
so cool.
Yeah, my only concern maybe is that we've had a lot of issues with clear plastics. We know that they can become very brittle. They can
Right.
snap. So I hope that whatever type they're using for this one is a good durable kind. That he'll be around for a while and not falling apart on the shelf. So we'll wait
Yeah.
and see.
He looks
That's my
great,
only
man.
Yeah. That's my only worry about the clear plastics nowadays because they're always so fragile. And then we've seen how they've been in the past, and I think that's
Right.
why Hasbro has kinda stayed away from using clear plastics just because of that. So,
Hmm.
yeah, that's it. I mean, there's plenty more. I can talk about the Doomsday that was really incredible. We've been waiting. We've gotten all the Supermen from Return of Superman, Death and what's it called? Death and Return of Superman?
Yeah, yeah. The death and return of a
Yeah,
Superman.
and not only are we getting the Doomsday, but they're giving us a battle damaged Superman, which I thought
Yeah,
was
you get like a
awesome.
whole scene that you can build out now,
Yeah,
which is
so
so
you're getting
exciting.
some really cool stuff there. And then, yeah, there he is. I mean, man, that's gonna look so cool painted up. And they gave us the ripped cape, I mean, like battle scene on the ground.
Mhm,
I mean, wow,
mhm.
this is gonna
You got a whole
be
diorama, which is really cool, which I don't think they've done horses before and animals and things like that, and little dioramas, but nothing that elaborate.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like right out of the comic book panel. I cannot wait to get this and set it up. Look at that Doomsday. So many people, I think, were excited. I think when we saw the Bane from the Nightfall line, we were like,
Mhm,
"Whoa,
mhm.
okay, they can do chunky figures." Let us get that Doomsday, and here he is, super excited for this
You
figure.
love your chunky figures, you love your
Yeah,
chunky dudes, so
yeah,
this
and not
is,
only yeah,
exciting.
and
Yeah, very
and
exciting.
not only did they complete the Superman, death thing here, but then they gave us, like, an amazing, retool, Superman Man of Tomorrow, whatever it's called, kinda based off that Jim Lee style that we've seen in the comics, him on the gargoyle, uh,
Yep,
very reminiscent of the variant for Hush that they did on the gargoyle, and,
yep.
I heard that there's gonna be some tweaks to the body, a little bit different paint app, and then you get the really awesome cape that I think is, um, improved from the original release of
Yes, it has, yeah, you really feel it on, like, Eradicator and,
yeah,
characters like that where they a cyborg Superman, and so, if they update the body, include some other alternate heads, like a smiling head or something, just to kinda give more of those real Superman expressions that we are all very familiar
yeah,
with, I think that would go a long way.
and here we go again with another, awesome base kinda dio for it.
Yeah, that thing's
I
awesome.
mean, man, super exciting, really, really great stuff, I wish they would have been at Comic-Con so you could have seen this stuff in person, Michael.
Yeah, but Metacom's not included at, Comic-Con. Sorry.
So
That's
sad.
that should be our spin-off podcast. So I think that's a good one. I just wanted to go back really quick to Iceman.
Yeah, yeah.
Just because we didn't really get to see all the accessories that he comes with, and you can kind of see here. So the stand, which is amazing. I'm so happy they're going all out for Iceman, not just including a figure with some accessories. You have the full display piece. You get the slide. It's going to look amazing. My favorite memory and probably the best Iceman still is the Toy Biz Iceman from Marvel Legends that brought the actual Sentinel piece that you could attach the whole connecting ice slide or ice stand, whatever you want to call it. And it looked awesome. Like I remember that figure looking really cool. The
Oh, yeah.
translucency on it. It was just a really fun ice band. And they've made some other ones, lately, or not lately, but just like of the current age, and they just haven't worked out very well. I think they're fine, but this feels like quintessential Iceman, and the fact they include the head with the hair on it, I like a
Yeah,
lot.
I
So
like that you're getting a lot of variation in this one. I know Diamond, tried to do a nice,
yeah,
Iceman not too long ago. Actually, I have that one right there. I'll grab it in a second. We can show it off. But, yeah, I mean, that Toy Biz Marvel Legend that you're talking about was a fantastic he was actually my stand-in for a long time because I wasn't happy with a lot of the other Icemen until they did the retro, Iceman they
Iceman.
did in the, Marvel Legends retro line, which I thought was pretty
Hmm.
decent. But,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, quality-wise, that Toy Biz one really kinda stood out as, like, probably one of the best figures, and the fact that the stand with the Sentinel hand and then the ice blast that kinda made him stand a little taller, it was so cool. I kept the stand, and I just kinda switched out the Iceman for my display. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
here's
the
the select one. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
yeah, it's a fun figure. Obviously, they use good plastic. They had really cool accessories. My only gripe, that we've all kind of known from Marvel Select is the limited articulation. Although this one had good movement, it's just there's always something about these figures that feel a little stiff. I don't know if it's in the legs. You
Hmm.
just don't get that wider range of motion you can get with like Marvel Legends or import figures. But it was a cool
Yeah,
one because they had the different types of heads. They even came with different belts. You could style
yeah.
him in different variations. He was a fun figure.
It looked cool. It looked cool. I think again, like with Select, they're out of scale compared to all your 6-inch figures, and
Yeah.
this one does look really nice. I love the stand. Again, we talk about those kind of things that are so quintessential to Iceman. But this one coming out, it just feels like this is going to be the Iceman, and I'm very, very excited about that one. Excited to see what else they have, but we can kind of go back and see what else they showed off. So we talked about Superman. If that's like a new 2.0 body, very excited to see how that's going to feel. A very sought after character, Wonder Woman. And this is an interesting Wonder Woman. This is not traditional Wonder Woman, at least I don't think so. Just from the head sculpt and the skirt piece and everything.
Yeah, this looks like more of a Justice Society version, although it's under the Justice League. I don't know if this
Hmm.
is specific from I was talking about this with a buddy. I don't know if this is a specific storyline like they've done with Batman Hush and Death and Return of Superman. Is this
Hmm.
Justice League also going to be a line from a story, and they're based off of the artwork? I don't recall these versions, but the Lobo is also there, and he's under that Justice League name tag. So
Hmm.
curious if it's one of those. But yeah, this seems like a more of a Justice Society type of Wonder Woman. Have you ever seen a version or a storyline called New Frontier that was done by, I think it was Dan Cook?
I feel like they have, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like the version that I like the vibes I'm getting from this Wonder Woman, which is a really cool version.
Mm.
Definitely not like the more modern one, but I think it's going to be a really nice figure. And there hasn't been a lot of Wonder Womans. We've gotten tons of Batmans, tons of Supermans, but honestly, Wonder Woman, we have not gotten like a comic book based Wonder Woman. So I'm excited.
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely a must. If you have any sort of DC figures, I think if you have Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, it's just like she's in the top three. She's there with Flash and Green Lantern, but she's her own awesome character in her own right. From what I saw, I don't know if it's confirmed or not. I don't think she brings the lasso of truth. So that would be unfortunate because I feel like such an easy accessory to make considering the wired cables we've gotten with, like Daredevil, for example. So
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what she's going to bring, but this would be great if this is just like the beginnings of getting some cool Wonder Woman figures. I think for me, it would definitely have to be a must because I just don't have any Wonder Woman figures at all. I gave away my DC Universe Classics, and that had the best Wonder Woman for a long time. So I'm very excited to see that one, and hopefully they do some more. So Wonder Woman for tomorrow, that is this exact version. So.
For tomorrow. Okay, then yeah, she is based on that one with the Superman line. For tomorrow was a Superman story.
Mhm.
So I don't remember what she looked like in that one. That's cool that you see the name tag because I wasn't really paying attention to that too much. Um, I gotta look at it. That's also based off. I think For Tomorrow was a Jim Lee, Jeff Loeb story. So I'm curious.
Superman for tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go back and find the books and see if I can find this iteration of Wonder Woman because I'd love to see what she was gonna look like. And yeah, I'd be surprised if we don't get the lasso, Michael. I just feel that like it's a must for Wonder Woman. I think maybe just because of the material it's gonna be made out of. They didn't have it for the prototype.
Mhm.
Oh, there we go.
Yep. So this is
Oh, I
that
like it.
style. And it's cool. It's very cool. I love the cape, which is, I mean, it looks like they're going to include that as well. So count me down for that. I do like the style. I think like if you get a lasso, I think you're going to be good. Like if we can just include that, and she has like some more like some other pieces that are not like considered, I guess, like the quintessential style of Wonder Woman, but I dig it. I think it's a really cool design. It's a really cool look. Mafex does that stuff. Metacom does where they kind of go for not the like quintessential or like the exact version of what you think of Batman or Superman should be, or Wonder Woman, for example. But I do like this Superman for Tomorrow style.
Yeah, I like that they stylize it, based on the story that they're pulling from, and just like the
Hmm.
Hush figures were all really in the Jim Lee style, and we've talked. Jim Lee is one of my all time favorite artists, so anything that resembles his artwork, I'm always excited about. I love it when he takes unique um interpretations of characters. I really like this Wonder Woman. I've kind of forgotten about it. I haven't read this book in forever, but I do remember it now that I'm seeing these images. And yeah,
Hmm.
I would be very excited for this Wonder Woman. So yeah, I'm gonna
Well,
be very much paying attention to see more and more of this develop because yeah, like you were saying, there isn't a lot of great Wonder Woman out there as much there is like Batman and Superman. So to get
yeah.
more Wonder Woman, I'll be very excited.
Stick with Batman and Superman. We are getting Clark Kent and I almost said Christian Bale, a Bruce Wayne from Hush as well. He look really cool. I'm curious if the Clark Kent will have a swappable torso that is just the suit. I imagine, right? You can't just sell the figure with just him
Yeah,
ripping off, which looks cool. Like I love that look for sure, but you probably want a traditional Clark Kent with like the
I
glasses, the
mean,
hat.
for a Mafex figure that's supposed to be articulated and posable and everything, this is very binding. So I doubt that we're not going to get a removable top piece that will give them a more
Yeah.
traditional look. So
Yes.
I think this was just a cool way to show him off. But yeah, I believe I'll be quite surprised if we don't get the rest of a
I
more
believe. Yeah.
put together Clark Kent to add to the collection, which also is really cool because you don't get a lot of the Clark Kents and Bruce Waynes. It's always the superhero iteration.
Right, right. The last Clark Kent figure I remember having is the DC Universe Classic. There was a 2-pack, I think, of
Yep.
Superman Clark
Yep.
Kent. I still have that Clark Kent, which is still like I still like that figure too. It's
Yeah, they were
outdated,
great.
but
They
still
were
good.
great figures. Even though it's
Yeah.
an older figure, I mean, Four Horsemen did such a good job on that line. They hold up. They're great figs. But I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
MAFEX will really knock it out of the park with this one.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
there is the Muff Toys Protector of Metropolis, which I feel is everyone's quintessential Clark Kent now, which does look amazing.
yeah,
I missed out on that one because I'm a lazy bastard and cheap bastard. But I think this is gonna be suitable Clark Kent. It matches more of the Hush style, which
yeah.
I do
And
have.
also,
So,
there are collectors that aren't into the soft good versions, like the Mezcos and
hmm
stuff like that. They want more of a all plastic figure. And so I think this is a great option for them. I'm kind of leaning a little towards this one if it delivers with all the extra accessories and we can get, the full look of Clark Kent as well as this. So
hmm
even with the Bruce Wayne, it's a cool figure. Is it like the most exciting dynamic figure? No, but if you really love the character, it's a cool one to have to kind of add in the background there of your displays. And
yeah,
these also allow for a lot of cool accessories and cool stuff they can add to this to kind of really, bump up the figures, potential. So I'd love
yeah.
to see what the final packaging with all the stuff that it's coming with is going to look like. So another thing
hmm
to keep a close eye on, and let's see what this actually turns out to be.
Yeah, I was curious because we talked about with Clark Kent, and then we'll move on to a few more, then we'll get to our next topic. But with Superman, with Clark Kent, it does feel like okay, they're gonna have a swappable torso, which just has him in his full button down suit, and the accessories are a big selling point. If you can just throw a head with the glasses on and a hat on, then I think you're onto something. Then you got like a
Yeah,
really cool looking Clark Kent. With this one, you can see in the butterflies in the shoulder, looks like it's like part of the figure. My first thought was, okay, what if you're doing kind of like just getting like a similar idea where you have swappable arms where you can take off the coat and you just have a suited Clark Kent. I mean, Bruce Wayne. It doesn't
yeah,
seem like that's the case unless you're getting pieces to swap out that butterfly part. If that's just like a loose piece that's there, like a floating sort of butterfly, I don't think that's the case. So I think, like you said, I think it really depends on what kind of accessories, the things that really add on to that figure to make it feel like a necessary purchase to get
yeah.
that
I
Bruce
think
Wayne.
this is
Otherwise, you just keep the Batman Hush that brings a Bruce Wayne figure.
Yeah, yeah. I think this is a wait and see what it's going to come with to really kind of make up your mind of how worth it is it to pick up a figure like this. But so far,
Yeah.
I mean, they look great, and I believe Mayfix will do something really cool to make those exciting figures to own as well.
For sure. There's some movie DC figures. Nobody cares. I don't know if you care about those. There is a Joker um, from the Joker movie. I Do you have any feelings? Is this something you feel like you
You know,
need, or are you okay?
I really liked the movie, the original movie. I didn't even bother to watch the second one just because it was so badly panned. So I don't
hmm
really know. How bad that actually was, but I
hmm
enjoyed the first movie, and this is a fun, scene, and I think really the value in this one is just the diorama you get with it, with the stairs and, the talk show, seats and stuff like
That's
that.
crazy. That diorama piece. At first, I thought, oh, they're just using it for the display. But if you look at Metacom displays, they either show just a figure or they show what they're coming with. And it seems like he's going to include this whole piece.
Yeah, if that's the case, yeah, that's pretty cool just for that. And, if you enjoyed the movie and the Joker's cool, this is a really cool way to kind of recreate that. If it's just the figure, maybe not as exciting, but still pretty cool.
hmm hmm
But yeah, I mean, like I said, if you love that movie and you enjoyed that, Joaquin Phoenix interpretation,
Yeah,
not a bad figure, especially if it comes with all those cool accessories.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm curious how they're gonna release that one.
You
The
didn't watch the
Batman.
second one, Michael?
Nope, I
All
heard
right.
terrible things, and
Yeah.
I didn't really care about it. So didn't care for it. Didn't care for it. And then it felt like it was a good waste of 3 hours or 2.5 hours or however long it was. That's
You didn't
tough
want
question.
you didn't think I kinda thought Lady Gaga would be a cool Harley Quinn, and I like the idea of it, you know? I thought, "Hmm, maybe it would be interesting." But, yeah, when the movie debuted and everybody hated it, I just kinda completely lost interest in it.
Yeah, same. I felt the same way.
What do you
Batman
call
Hush. Did,
what do you call those Gaga people?
oh,
The
Google Gagas.
no, don't they have, like, My Little Monsters? Doesn't she
Oh
call
yeah,
them?
yeah, 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 yeah. Little monsters. Yeah.
I don't know what she calls them, but I was like,
Something
"I
like
thought
that.
Maggie was a little monster." Are
No,
you
no, no, no. I'm
no?
just a creep. I'm not a little monster.
Okay, okay. Just
That's
wanna
totally
clear that up.
different. Yeah, I'm just
That's
a
what I heard
regular.
about her.
I'm just a regular old creep.
When people were talking about it, I was like, "Oh, is he a Lady Gaga fan?" No, you're just a
No,
big
no,
old creep.
that's a real creep. Uh,
A true
Batman
monster.
Hush, true. One of the a real life monster. Batman Hush looks like they're doing like another sort of 2.0 body. Otherwise, why would they show a prototype? So curious how that's going to turn out with
Yeah.
the blue cape. It's like they're doing, like you said, they're kind of going back and revisiting those characters and doing some 2.0 revisions on the body and the capes as well. So excited to see how that turns out, and also Black Cape as well. I don't know, it would have to be like so fundamentally different for me to go get both versions, considering I already have the blue cape and the Black Cape version. That I don't know if
Yeah.
I could dip like that.
I
So
feel that, a lot of people have complained, and I mean, I didn't really mind it because I have both of the original ones, and people like the idea of the giant cape, but they felt that it was too, bunchy up at the top, and
mm,
it didn't hang really well, so it looks like this is MAFEX trying to correct that issue with the big cape on the top, and so maybe
right.
that's why they decided, hey, let's kind of redo these figures and try to improve the stuff that people didn't like. But what it seems to be doing is like what they've been doing for the Nightfall Batman, where they're using a plastic piece for the shoulders.
Hmm.
But I've also heard a lot of people complain that they don't like the plastic piece on the shoulder; they want it to be all fabric. So
Yeah.
who knows? Who knows, Michael?
Yeah, we'll see how they
Too
are
much
when
complaining.
they actually. That's so much. Let's just chill out, all right? Bunch of babies. This looks awesome. Batgirl. I can't. That looked so good. That Batgirl.
Yes, I'm a big Barbara Gordon
You're
fan,
excited.
so
Hmm.
I like Batgirl figures. I've gotten pretty not as much as my Batman collection, but I have a nice amount of
Hmm.
them, and so this is a really cool one to add to it.
Yeah, for sure. And then you got Battle Damaged Batman Hush, and then you get the Raja Ghul. Definitely count me in for Raja Ghul. Again, like another variation of Batman. Don't know if I need it, but
Is
that's
it
so
is it
cool that they're making
is
it.
it Rosh or is it Raish? Is
I
it
always say
Raj?
Raj, like almost like with
Raj?
like a G
Raj?
at the end.
Raj?
Roger Al Ghul. I
I heard
think
people say
it's
Raish, Raz, Raj,
Raish. I've heard Raish before. I always go Raj Al Ghul.
like
Where do you
Raj
go?
Koothrappali?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's my reference point. I mean, that's everyone's reference point, I imagine. But yeah, Raj or Rage, however you want to say it, I think he looks really cool. That's a definitely a must for me. The whole Rogue
Yeah.
Gallery is always,
He's a cool figure. I like to see what he's gonna be packed with. Hopefully a shirt.
Yep. You don't like seeing the naked body? Of
No, it's cool, especially when you're gonna duel, you gotta take it off, I'm surprised he's wearing pants.
course. I mean,
But,
isn't that what you do when you duel? You rip off your shirt.
I rip off everything. I duel in the
But
nude,
you
Michael.
he says you go full commando.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta throw your opponent off,
Yeah.
Psychological warfare. So
They're like, what the heck? It's so tiny. And then you slice them in half.
exactly. So he's too focused on that, he doesn't see the sword come at
He sees your dagger, not the big sword that's coming from behind.
him. There you go. He sees the pocket knife.
Little
Uh,
switchblade.
nah. But yeah,
Oh, that's so
hopefully we'll get
good.
this cape or something cool. Cover up those nipples.
Yeah, for sure. The nipples are, it doesn't even look like he has nipples. So, but
It's
he got some hair in the chest.
it's not the Schumacher version
It's not the Schumacher. That would have had like extended nipples. It would have had like magnetic nipple accessories you could just place on your figure.
with nipple
Uh,
rings.
and that's the way to do it. Aquaman. I mean, they're like I don't know why they have so many DCU figures. Like it's just like I don't like.
You know,
Is there
I know
a market for these?
there was a lot of fans, people love Snyder. You saw last time you brought up on the show that people were out there boycotting the new Superman movie.
It's true.
But as a company, you would think, you know what? I think maybe this is kind of died out and we should kind of focus on the newer stuff. So I'm surprised we haven't seen more stuff from the new Superman movie with all the characters in that. We got, Metamorpho, you got, Guy Gardner, you got Hot Girl,
Right,
I'm surprised we're
right.
not seeing those start showing up in prototype form.
Yeah, because I mean they have prototypes
Yeah.
of the Keaton Batman, which I mean looks cool, but I'm just waiting for them to actually do like a Keaton Batman, '89
Yeah.
Batman, a
And
Batman
the problem is
Returns
that,
kind
I
of
mean, the
thing.
Flash movie was so ill received and Ezra Miller just kinda,
Yeah,
bummed everybody out. So it's like, why go through the trouble, It's just like, you know, quit where your
yeah,
head, scrap this stuff. I would have turned this Michael Keaton into the '89 one,
yeah,
reworked them and just gotten rid of the flashes and, done something different. But,
yeah. I
I
feel
guess there's people
same
that
way.
enjoy it and still want it. They wanna keep building out their Snyderverse, so
Hmm.
there it is.
Some more Marvel stuff, and then we'll go on to our next thing. We got some more news to cover. Venom 2099. I don't really have any connection to that, but I think it's a pretty rad
Whoa, whoa,
figure
whoa,
to
no
look at.
connection.
I don't have a connection a lot to Spider-Man 2099 in some pieces,
What
but like Venom
what you
2099, I
have
think
a connection to Spider-Man 2099?
I do, but just like the deep lore of the story, I don't
I'm
know. But
talking
I
about
do like the figure.
I'm talking about blood
Yeah,
connection.
I know blood, man. I know. I don't know why I started talking like that,
Yeah, that
but
was weird.
weird. I don't know why I went there, but I
Oh,
did.
I'm
It was only
embarrassed for you right
natural,
now.
natural. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You should be. If I could cut it right now. Yeah, but Venom 29, I think
Still a
looks
cool
such a
figure
really
though.
cool design. Yeah, super
Yeah.
cool figure. Um, they're doing a blue Venom, which is kind of cool.
Riding those
Yeah.
coattails of that Capcom blue.
Yep, the Gamerverse style. It looks really awesome. It has more like that comic book style, but
Is it enough for you to buy it, Michael?
I don't know, man. It could be. I love that Venom. It's a little small, I understand, but I think Venom when he first came out wasn't supposed to be this massive gargantuan character, right?
No, yeah, they really buffed him up later on, but,
Yeah,
Tom McFarlane's come out and talked about how when he originally designed him, he was definitely bigger than Spider-Man, but he wasn't
mhm,
hulking, and he didn't have the big, tongue with the goo dripping off of it. That was all added
yeah,
later on as other
right.
artists took it over, so this is very true more to the original design.
Right, right. It could be. It would go really nice with my comic Spider-Man, so that could be a
There you
nice
go.
little tag team right there. They're doing some MCU stuff. They have Deadpool coming out, and you also got the dog that he comes with. Very, very cute. All the accessories, the claws, the golden guns, the swords, everything, all the accoutrements with Deadpool. And you got your huge Ackman Wolverine. Um, Looks really cool. I don't really care too much about the MCU stuff. Just I pick and choose with MCU. I don't know how you are if you're all in with everything, but I still think it looks cool.
I think they're
And then
great
Venom
figures.
as
I
well.
feel like though they're kind of it's so far out, and I think Deadpool, Wolverine especially was so big when it came out, but the excitement for it quickly died away. I think
Yeah,
people still talk about it as, oh yeah, that was a really good movie. I really enjoyed it, but I don't know. I don't know if the drive is there to buy these expensive figures, but they are they
yeah.
are they are good looking.
They are good looking. With the re-release of Deadpool, the MAFEX one, I was like, that's all I needed. Like I'm
Yeah.
so happy with that figure. Marvel Legends teased Dupe at Comic Con, so you can imagine maybe a maximum Deadpool. And I think it would have to be like a full Liefeld type Deadpool for me to have any interest.
Right. A lot of
Um,
pouches, no
a
hands.
lot of pouches. Give me all the pouches you can, and just
Little
that kind of
little little
classic
little,
look.
little club hands like this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, little club hands, like little. That'd be great. I would totally.
No
I buy
feet.
5 of those. So,
It just comes with like a
uh,
cloud that you put his ankles in.
and like a swappable torso, with like a giant chest sticking out.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
I think that's the way you would do it. And then lastly, they had some teasers and stuff you were talking about. They showed Superman, movie Superman, and then also MCU Punisher and Daredevil. That'd be cool. I think Daredevil will look really cool. So
Yeah, I think, I like it when there's characters that you don't see a lot of stuff. Popular characters like Daredevil, you don't see as much stuff as you think you would, especially not like, Wolverine or Batman or Deadpool. So I love that stuff. And
right.
the Punisher, another character I think is very underrated. So many fans out there for it, and you don't see as much stuff. I mean, there is things, but I don't know. I just feel
Mhm.
like that they're always like few and far between, but maybe that's just me.
Yeah. Yeah. You're a big MOTU man, I think. You love your
Yeah, I've been
MOTU.
a huge, Masters of the Universe fan forever, so I love it when new stuff comes in. Um, maybe not so much this thing.
Well, that's my question. Was Mattel at Comic Con showed off their upscaled Origin stuff, and they're gonna do MOTU 2000 X, and yeah, they're trying something. They have these like really really cartoony looks and limited articulation and stuff like that. Uh, you know, yeah, they're okay.
I mean,
For me, probably not.
I love the 2000X He-Man line. And more than anything, I love the toys. They were done by the Four Horsemen, which I've, talked about extensively of how big a fan I was for them. And I
Hmm.
love what they did with that line. I was just like mesmerized by like the cool update, but they kept it true and classic to the original material. They just, modernized it enough where it just, fit this newer kind of generation of design, but without losing what made the original character so cool. So,
Right,
man, yeah, it's really cool. And some of these, I mean, look fantastic. It's hard really for me to decide without seeing them in hand and in person. So this
right.
could be really cool. Although I'd have a hard time replacing my original Mattel 2000X line because I have pretty much every figure. Although,
And you have the NECA Staction ones too,
yeah,
right?
the one because they never got around to finishing it. So yeah, I collected some of the action figures for the main, a lot of the cool characters that I still wanted. And so I was always kind of disappointed we never got the figures for them. But at least that was a way to kind of, quench the thirst a little without,
Hmm.
feeling like you completely missed out. Although now I'm kind of nervous because Mondo's doing an amazing job with their 2000X
Yeah,
line.
yeah,
And I feel
yeah.
like, oof, if there's any line that might make me switch over, it might be Mondo's.
I mean, I
But
was just about to say, like, what if you could get the quality and look of those Staction figures, but with modern day articulation and
yeah,
accessories?
I mean, that's exactly, that's taking it to the next level. And I mean, I would definitely be all in on that. So it'll be really come down to price point, when they finally release how much these figures are going to cost, if it's viable. It's a lot of figures, so it would be hard.
It's a lot of
Uh,
figures.
it'll be hard
It is.
to collect on a tight budget. So we'll see how that is.
Yeah,
But
I
if
mean, but I mean, just look at this. Look at this He-Man. I mean,
that's
look
what
at
I'm
this
saying.
thing.
I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
and
know,
I'm
and
definitely gonna get a couple of these regardless. I'm definitely probably gonna get He-Man and a couple of the other ones. But as of the replacing the whole line, yeah, this was a Staction figure here. This one was one that I had to get the Staction figure. So this was one I would probably love to get to replace the
right.
Staction one and have it a
Right.
fully
It
articulated
it
one.
it it gave me those vibes, and I don't know if you saw my interview with Mondo.
Oh
I
yeah, I
think you did.
watched.
You said like the best interview you've ever seen.
Of
So
course,
I
Michael,
appreciate that. I
you do
appreciate that.
amazing work.
Thank you. But not to toot my own horn, but I did go to school for journalism.
Toot it, Michael. Toot that horn.
Tooting is so loud. Uh, yeah. So this one, they talked about how much they love that Four Horsemen line, and they love the Mattel ones, and they love the Staction ones, and like how can we do our version of that? And it gave me those vibes instantly when I saw them. Just the
Yeah,
quality, the paint, the detail. I mean, they include that stand as well. All the little pieces that reference the cartoon. You can tell how much love they're putting into this line.
yeah,
And how
yeah.
much that will be, I don't know, because these are going to be a premium price, but they look like very, very premium figures.
But the way they spoke about it in your interview was exciting because they talked about how, they wanted to make it in the scale because they were talking about making, bigger, massive, vehicles and playsets and
Yeah,
creatures and all that kind of thing. So I feel like they're like you said, they were very excited about this line. They loved the 2000X. They loved what the Four Horsemen did, and they were super excited to do it in their own kind of way. And it just opened up my mind to the possibilities. Imagine like Mondo giving us a new Castle Grayskull playset. Mondo giving us, like you said in your interview, you talked about, obviously Battle Cat and Panther and a lot of the rides and stuff like that. And I mean, I could really see this turning into something crazy. But
oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
yeah, like I said, for me, it's going to be in the price. If it's something reasonable where I could do it, I would love to kind of collect the whole line here and then just really take it to the next level. But, you know, like I said, it's extensive line, so I'll have to be watching my my wallet
Yeah.
there.
Well, you can get these then if you're gonna complain about it.
Well,
If
that's what
you're
I'm saying. If you're, that's why it's cool about collecting because there is stuff for everybody
this is your clawful.
and
This
they're
is what you're
big. I
getting.
mean, look at look at that. I mean, can you really compare my
I can't tell the difference.
I mean, it looks I think they just stole it out of Mondo's workshop.
I mean, I don't like they look exactly the same. What are you talking about?
Yeah. It's pretty funny where when, outside companies like Mondo are just killing it compared to, like, the parent company like Mattel that was always owned,
Yeah.
He-Man
Look,
and,
look,
like,
I
Ella
mean, I don't want to put down like Masterverse has some really cool figures.
No,
Like
of course.
it's just you can't compare to the quality of Mondo.
And,
It's
and I guess,
not
like,
happening.
maybe also if I'm not understanding what they're trying to do with this line, but if you're going for, like, a one-one comparison of what they look like in the show to creating an awesome figure, obviously, these are lacking a little bit of that detail, but obviously, this is a mass market line,
Right.
cost cutting, price point is gonna be substantially lower than, Mondos and stuff like that, so,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just having a little fun with them, but yeah, Mattel
Yeah, we
obviously,
are.
they
We're
put
having
out
a
some really
laugh. We're having a
figures.
laugh. Yeah. Yeah. It's just like I see this. I'm just like, this is insane.
Don't
This
be
is
so
so good.
serious, Michael.
The problem with our community, we get a little serious sometimes about stuff. Like, for example, I mean, this is a little bit of a detour. People were losing their flipping minds over this Wolverine and just saying, like, this Wolverine, he's like a Marvel select, he's too big. What are they thinking? I'm like, can we just take a step back really quick?
Yeah. It
Can we
was
just
really
calm down?
funny how it went from the excitement of how amazing this line was to, like, nitpicky about, like, "Oh my gosh, Wolverine is massive.
Yeah.
He's
It's like
1/6
a
scale."
1/6 scale. It's a Marvel Icons figure. What are they doing? And it's just like, no, man. It's just like a little bigger, and all his proportions are bigger. Everything, like
It's just a
his
thick
thighs, his
Wolverine.
arms, his manhood, like all of it's so much bigger. But
Yeah, they
when you
said, "How does Mikey like his men?" Nice and thick. And
exactly, they're like,
and that's what they delivered.
they gave me the thickness I wanted for my pleasure. And but when you like when you look at my hands, I don't have I don't have small baby hands or big gargantuan hands. There's normal size, human hands, and it's crouched in a nice position. The ab articulation, the torso crunch is so good on that figure, and so you get him in those really classic video game poses. This is a video game version of Wolverine. He's all exaggerated everywhere. His ears, his claws, his body type, everything. And so he's a little bit bigger, but also Wolverine in the game is I mean, he's not like big, but he's not like super tiny, but he's always crunched in that position like he is here in my
Yeah.
amazing video.
And I think
So,
that's also a thing. It's like to get in that kind of like proportional crouch where he still kind of looks like the way he does. Maybe the figure has to be a little longer, a little taller to
yeah.
get him. Now he looks kind of like crushed up, and so maybe that's why he stands a little bit taller than maybe we've seen in the past.
Mhm.
Um, and also, like you said, the ears, the things on his cowl are exaggerated. Because they're very exaggerated in the game, so they make him appear even taller.
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
like, this is MAFEX?
This is Mayfix, yeah.
Yeah, and, MAFEX will always run a tad smaller than the Marvel Legends,
Yep.
and so you can see here, it's not a massive difference. He's definitely wider, you can see the girth in this figure, so
He's so
but
girthy.
yeah, I mean, that definitely lends to the way he's portrayed in the video game. He's pretty, buff in that game, and so
Yeah,
compared to, like, more of the comic book where he's maybe a little bit leaner here and there, and just even the Marvel Legends style and Buck, are leaner than something like this. So I like the fact that they did kinda beef him up to match his look in the game, so
for sure.
if he's a little bit bigger, I'm not worried about it.
Well, look, it kind of goes back to there's different styles of figures, So it's like with MOTU, like you can get sort of more cartoony, a little bit cheaper depending on your budget, or you can kind of save those pennies and you can get something that is just in a class of its own with the Mondo stuff. It's all kind of whatever fits your style of collecting.
Right.
So, but yeah, man, some cool figures there. And then there's some other cool figures, a little bit more of the third, fourth party, but stuff we've always wanted. We always want Wolverines, we want Motu, but some people also what they're to we call Earth Guardian, as you remember from the classic
Well,
'90s cartoon.
Earth Guardian, he's our
He's a
hero.
hero. You're
Take
gonna take all that trash and stuff to a number
the
zero,
recycler bin.
just
No, I
like
don't.
recycling bins and
I think you're not
plastic
remembering it
bottles.
correctly.
Huh? I don't know. I saw a different version, I guess. So,
No, but this
but yeah,
figure has a lot of people excited. I mean, so many. He's a kind of a goofy, kind of a cliche '90s character, early 2000s, where they're propaganding saving the environment and stuff like that, which is fun. Teaching kids good habits and things like
yeah.
that.
The
And a
early
lot of
stages
people,
of wokeness.
exactly, all that liberal wokeness that they put out back then. But
No, Ned, it's
what?
real.
What?
Um,
But anyway, I mean, this character really kind of lends itself to a lot of people's, childhood and just good vibes. So a lot of people are excited to see Captain Planet come back and
Earth Guardian.
Earth Guardian come back. And so very cool figure. Very excited to see that. I've loved characters like this. Another one I always want import company to make is Space Ghost. I would love to see like a MAFEX style
Yes.
Space Ghost. So hopefully we'll get
Yes.
that in the future. But with
I
the
I I I have sorry, just because you before I forget, with Space Coast, I've interviewed June before, and we were there at WonderCon. We talked to him, and I was like, dude, you got to do Space Ghost because the Scooby Doo stuff is feels ripped right from the cartoon, and they
I
do
mean, it's all in the same
animated
vein.
figures. Yeah, it's all in the same vein, exactly. So you could just imagine a whole line of Space Ghost figures. But
Yeah.
I digress. Continue, sir.
Yeah, so yeah, no, I was saying Captain Planet, falls in that line of, this nostalgic character that people really just kind of remember from their
Earth
childhood.
Guardian.
So Earth Guardian. So I'm excited to see him come back. And I was gonna say the comic book just kind of relaunched as well, where you get like an older Captain Earth Guardian, I mean, with like a full grown beard and stuff. I don't know if you've seen it, Michael.
No, I never have.
They just launched it. And I think it's like issue 1 or 2 are out right now. Very
Of Earth
cool.
Guardian?
And yeah, Captain Planet. So, I forgot what publisher's doing it, but I saw some of the
Dynamite.
it was Dynamite. I was in a comic shop the other day and I saw the first issue sitting there and it looked really, really cool. I almost picked it up, but I kind of got distracted and I ended up buying this X-Men manga and I forgot to go back for the Captain Planet. But
Mm.
it's kind of all come out, people are remembering him and bringing him back. So, very interested to see how there it is. Yep. Pretty neat, right?
He's back and not in Pog form, like the comic book. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So maybe we'll also see an updated Captain Planet figure or Earth Guardian.
Well, I think what we need really is a Don Cheadle head to go with this
Oh
figure.
yes.
Like, come on.
I mean that's really the one I think everybody wants.
Yeah, we all that's my Captain Planet, Don Cheadle's Captain Planet. But yeah, it's cool. It has sort of that adopted, Mafex type body, and it's one of those characters that you're like, yeah, like why not? Like he's such like the icon from the
And
'90s that he
yeah.
fits with all the other stuff you have.
And
So
this is one of those things that I love third party companies. I think I wish more third party companies would do this than, kind of rehashing a lot of the figures that the main companies are already making.
yeah,
Give us
yeah,
stuff like Earth Guardian, give us
hmm
give us something like a Space Ghost, like Galaxy Phantom, you know,
yeah,
and
exactly, yeah.
and let us get some of those more obscure figures that nobody seems to be doing, but maybe a third party could
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, like SWAT cats. I've always wanted some SWAT cat figures, so give me some like, Meow pilots or something, you know?
Yeah, Meow Pilots. Yeah,
So yeah,
that's
I
fun.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree with you. There's such a space for those kind of figures,
Mhm.
space ghost. But yeah, hopefully this is the start of something where you can see more of those type of characters, and yeah, the articulation a little interesting. It's like a triple sort of torso diaphragm thing or diaphragm cut that they got going on. So curious how that's gonna work out. But it
That's
seemed like a
that's
little bit
another
like
thing
over engineering, but.
that's another thing, yeah, about these third parties. You kinda never really know what you're gonna get, because a lot
Yeah.
of them, they haven't done a lot of figures or they're just trying something new. And yeah, it's like a mixed bag. So hopefully it's like a really well put together figure, maybe some kind of neat new engineering that allows them from some really cool poses, or you could just be a big turd. We don't know.
We'll find out. But it's like $40 or something, so I feel like it's worth the risk. And there's like a lot, like I said, a lot of companies doing that kind of stuff. Mess Toys, they do the like the Yamaguchi style body, but they do Black Costume Spider Man. They have the Kane
Mhm.
Spider Man. They're doing the Superior Spider Man. They all look really good, and they don't cost as much. And a lot of these companies that you never heard of are just doing some, or like ones you have are doing like new 112 scale figures, or making some pretty awesome stuff out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, 6 inch plus. Speaking of which, they're doing their own World War Hulk inspired Jade Scar, we'll call it, which also looks really amazing.
The
So
Jade Scar. That's
yeah,
actually a cool name. They should make a Marvel should make a character named the Jade
Jade
Scar.
Scar. I think it's a really cool name, but this is a really cool looking figure, I gotta say.
Yeah. And it's fun too. We've seen a few Hulks coming out. We just saw Mezco release their images of their new 1/12th Hulk coming out. We saw the
Hmm.
debut of the Maximum series Hulk that Hasbro did. But here, look, we got a third, what do you call them? A third party company doing,
Yep.
and look how cool this looks. I mean, that's why I love when a lot of different people are trying something. You get so many cool iterations and concepts and neat ingenuity. So this is a really cool looking Hulk.
Yeah, it's very cool. I'm from the rumors that are out there. And if you don't like spoilers, you can mute this for 10 seconds. It sounds like they're gonna do an Incredible Hulk wave from Marvel Legends, and so if we get something like that, that's really exciting for Hulk fans out there. And
Yeah,
I consider myself a Hulk fan, so
you love your Hulk, right, Michael?
I love the big old bulk and the big old Hulk. So I love the Ang Lee Hulk. I don't care what the haters say. I appreciated that movie. Damn it,
It's a good movie. I enjoyed that movie.
right?
Yeah, I didn't think
I
there was
did.
anything wrong with the movie. I really liked the way that movie was done. I mean, some of it was kind of different, like a lot of the cutscenes and the pans and the comic book kind of thing. I like a lot of people like
Well,
the
that's
mock
what I
where
like.
they
I like that was
that's what I'm
taking a
saying. A
risk
lot of
and
people like
trying
the mock
something new
way
and different.
he
Yeah,
switches from scenes, but I actually thought that was probably one of the best parts of that movie because it was so weird and different and kooky, and it kind of felt comic booky. And so, why not? Why not have fun with a comic book movie?
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree, and that's what I loved about the movie. It got panned, then people will maybe kind of like the prequels. People hated them when they came out, and then later on they found love for them. I kind of want that to happen for Ang Lee Hulk. I need to rewatch it. Maybe it is crappy. I don't
Maybe
remember
it's
it,
a
but
complete piece of crap.
yeah, exactly.
Nick
So
Nolte, we don't
Nick
know.
Nolte. Nick Nolte, don't know about that. I don't know about the mutated poodles. Some questionable choices for sure, but I think overall, I did like it. But
I remember
yeah,
enjoying it as a kid. I mean, well, not even as a kid. I was an adult,
as a
but
man,
But yeah, but it was a fun movie, and yeah, regardless of it, I kind of like just gotten to the point in my life where I don't even care if it was fun, even if it was super cheesy and whatever and campy, it's still exciting and fun, and if it's a good time, I'm all for it.
we just want good times in dark times.
Exactly. Enough with
Exactly.
the complaining. Let's just enjoy life.
Can we get back to a place of enjoying life? Well, some people are enjoying this brand new version, brand new day, brand new version. Get it?
Yuck, 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 yuck.
Spider Man been out seeing the streets in his new costume, his new duds, waving to the people. Look at Tom Holland, nice and dapper in his tight ass suit. I like that. I like a classic looking Spidey. I mean,
Would you feel comfortable walking around New York, Mikey, sporting something like this?
no,
No, you
no
don't think
way.
you could do it?
I don't think so. I think my body type wouldn't fit. I'd be more like a Spider Pam than a Spider
Hey,
Man.
is it? I mean, they say especially in the liberal mindset, all bodies are beautiful. So have to have confidence, Michael.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Give me the suit. I'll parade it myself around town
You
in the
go,
Spider Man
girl.
costume. Yeah, I'll go for it. Yeah, I'm gonna live proud. I'm gonna live loud.
Exactly.
That's the way to do it. What do you think of the suit? Is this like the Spider Man suit that
I
you've
like
wanted?
it. I like it a lot. I like that they went with a more what's it called? A more stylized spider there. It
Hmm.
looks really, really cool, very reminiscent of more of like the comic book iterations of the suits. Uh, I mean, I think they're really just kinda nailing it. I like that they went with a little bit of the embossed webbing. It gives it a little bit of that, Sam Raimi,
Yeah,
Toby vibe to it, which I think is really cool. I
yeah.
love the fact that it looks like actual Spider-Man from the comic books, you know?
Hmm.
It just it's funny because it's like just little tweaks, here and there make it look so good, and so, yeah, I think this is gonna look so good on the big screen. I'm excited for another Spider-Man movie. I'm a huge
You,
Spider-Man fan.
you see like the wrinkles, it looks like real fabric versus like the Iron Spiders and those Tony Stark type Spider-Man suits that he
Yeah.
had for such a long time. So, and they say like this is sort of going back to roots of like street level Spider-Man, which I think is like people don't need to have world cataclysmic events movies to enjoy
Yeah.
them,
And I
you
think
know?
that's one of the fun parts about Spider-Man is that he lives in the real city and he interacts with, regular folks and he saves the day from crooks and robbers and, purse snatchers and stuff like that. So I like it. I think that's always been one of my favorite parts of the Spider-Man movies. I remember Andrew Garfield had a nice little, moment where he was just kind of running around in the streets, kind of, stopping crime. And I love that version of Spider-Man. I love the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And so I hope we get a lot
Mm.
more of that in this. Because yeah, I mean it's cool. Even in the comic books, it's cool for them to like cross over with the Avengers and do some big crossover event and it goes crazy. But I always love going back to to the mainstays of him just kind of swinging around the big city and helping, stop, smaller things. Not
Yeah,
like you said, doesn't have to be world cataclysm all the time.
for sure, for sure. So, I mean, this movie is supposed to come out in a year, like a year from now. So, I hopefully that script is ironclad. They know exactly what they're doing, unlike Avengers Doomsday, and we'll get a good Spider-Man movie.
We don't
But
know what's going on there. Although
no, we
I
definitely
was
won't.
very happy with, Fantastic Four, Michael.
You know what? I did want to talk about that with you. Fantastic Four just came out about 2 weeks ago. I got to see it at Comic Con, which was exciting. You saw it recently. What were your thoughts on Comic Con? So we're talking MCU.
What? Comic Cons?
No, I saw it at Comic Con, like
Oh, I
during
heard you say,
Comic
what are your
Con.
thoughts on Comic Cons?
I still got con crud in the
I don't
brain.
know what the hell you're
So
talking about, but Fantastic Four was a fantastic movie. So what I did there, Michael?
wow,
No,
not seen that one before.
it was really, a surprise, and, I was happy when I walked out of the theater because I was
Okay.
worried that, Marvel has not been on the best track. I was, worried what they were gonna do. It's a big movie. I think it's a difficult movie to get right. We've had a lot of flops in the past with, Fantastic Four. Um,
Hmm.
Nothing I mean, they've been fun, but they didn't really nail it, and I feel that they really for the type of movie it was a big movie, there was a lot of stuff. They were going into a world where the Fantastic Four has always been established. And so, for what they were able to put together, and it was a really enjoyable movie, they were able to, like, kinda move right into, like, a big event in the Fantastic Four lore with Galactus
Yeah, yeah,
and did such a good job with it. A lot of people complained about having a female Silver Surfer, but the fact that they justified it by making her an actual, she's Shalabal, like from the comic book, so
yep,
it totally made sense. It worked, especially even dealing with multiverse and stuff like that. The what's his name? Ron Rads, whatever. What's the name of the regular Silver
yeah,
Surfer?
yeah. And Norman
Warren Rad,
Reedus,
that's
I
right.
think.
He's out there somewhere. We'll see him. It doesn't mean that he
Yeah,
doesn't exist or he was, what's it called? Gender swapped. But
yeah,
they actually did it with an actual character from the comic books, and the actress. I always forget her name. She was fantastic. I love that Silver Surfer. She was so
yeah.
good, and I
She was
can't.
great.
Yeah, I can't wait to see where they take the Fantastic Four. I definitely like the way each of the actors portrayed their character. That was probably my only one big thing about the movie was that I felt we didn't get enough time with the individual characters themselves and kind of a little saw more of that because I think all the actors did a good job bringing them to life. I think the thing was just really well put together. I like the actor they used from Quinn, who did fantastic. I mean, Johnny Storm was phenomenal. Even Pedro
So,
Pascal, which I was a little nervous. I thought he was just going to play Pedro Pascal again. He
mhm.
put some nuance in his performance to really kind of go for that intellectual Reed Richards that struggles between morality and like more emotional things as opposed to his logical scientific side, which I thought was really good.
Yeah.
And Sue Storm was great, you know, fantastic job, really fun. I like that they kind of made her more of the team leader. I thought it worked well. So
Yeah, what I liked a lot was that each person, each member of the team got their moment to shine or to lead, to be a leader in different aspects. The thing maybe not so much, but Sue Storm definitely, Reed Richards obviously, Human Torch, Johnny Blaze, Johnny Storm,
Johnny
Johnny
Blaze.
the Fires, Johnny Cage. That's what I meant, Johnny Cage. Um, no,
Johnny
but like
Mnemonic.
Johnny Storm. No, but Johnny Mnemonic got his time to figure out his own thing and how to communicate with Silver Surfer and
Yeah, and
like write
someone
his
told me
own work.
something really cool at the shop. We were talking about the movie, and he said, "You know what I liked about this version of Johnny Storm was that he wasn't just like a womanizer. You know, he wasn't just like a
Yeah.
playboy. He was actually a smart, scientific guy that could, because you think, why would he be, an astronaut? Why would he just because he's the sister? I mean, his sister is Sue Storm? No, because he's
Mhm.
actually has, intellect and he's a smart
Right.
guy. And I like the fact that they focus that in this movie.
Yeah, and also his like, yeah, he wasn't just womanizing someone. I mean, he's had parts of that too, like seeing Silver Surfer, it's like, oh, she's kind
Well,
of
that's
hot,
what I'm
that
saying.
kind
It
of thing.
wasn't his only aspect of the movie. He wasn't
Right.
just a goofball, only looking for parties and girls and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Kinda like I feel like maybe even Chris Evans' portrayal of, Johnny Storm was a little more like that.
for
This
sure.
one, yeah, he did that, but he always like, "Hey, I gotta figure stuff out too, I gotta be a part of this team and contribute," you know?
Yeah, yeah, and he
Not let
definitely
everybody
did.
else do the heavy
I
lifting,
mean I mean, he
so
probably had the most, emotional moment, and we can kinda talk spoilers, at this moment with that part where Galactus is coming back from the portal, and he's about to sacrifice himself. It's like,
yeah,
"Tell my nephew to remember me," or something, and
yeah,
then Silver Surfer comes in and takes over and saves the
yeah,
day,
yeah.
so,
So I gotta
um
say, I'm excited for Fantastic Four 2. I think if we can get a little more time with these characters and enjoy the way that they interact, I love that they felt like a real family. It was cool the way that it
Yeah,
actually all just kind of melded very well. So yeah, it was a fantastic movie. Not to be too punny.
no, no, you can be as punny as you want. I mean, you give it I guess you give it 4 out of 4?
You got it, Michael.
um, nailed it. Nailed the pun. Yeah, I like the movie. I really liked it actually. I enjoyed it. I like the whole family dynamic. I thought all the actors were really good. Like, with Pedro, it was like this very similar feeling as well. But I thought he did such a good job marrying those places of being this analytical genius and trying to figure out every solution and approaching everything like a math problem, and then having those
Yeah,
moments that are emotional, and then they really deliver. And
and
Galactus looked amazing. I loved how Galactus looked. I love that
yeah.
they actually had the guy in costume and acted those scenes out. I think it just adds the sort of credibility and just makes it more believable.
Yeah. And the
Right.
other aspect is like I know a lot of people have well, not a lot of people, but some people have been critical about like the story plot itself, that the plan at the end with Franklin was kind of ridiculous. And the way they take out Galactus was very simple. But at the end of the day, I felt it was right in line with a Fantastic Four kind of comic story, you know.
Hmm.
Um, and the movie itself just really felt like one of that kind of more old school stories. When you read comic books from like the 60s, they're very much like that. It's not
Yeah.
super deep. There isn't some like really crazy, sophisticated plans for things. It's just really kind of like, oh, this will work and let's do it. And it works, and it was fun. And I think that, yeah, maybe it wasn't like the most, dynamic plan they could have come up with, but I thought for that type of movie, it worked and I still enjoyed it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I did like the aesthetic of it a lot. I loved, like, that idea of, like, what the future would be in the 1960s, Like, that kinda technology, like, very, like, Jetsons-like thinking of, like, it's still, like, old 60s style, but with flying cars and,
Mhm.
like, that like, the 60 Type 70 computers, but with, sort of, like, modern day tech,
Yeah.
and it all worked out really well.
Speaking of,
I there
let me say this.
Yeah.
Speaking of the computers, Michael, which would you prefer to have, the Fantastic Car or Herbie?
Oh, Herbie.
Yeah,
I love Herbie. A fantastic car is cool, but there's a lot of flying cars around in the city. Give me Herbie. Herbie feels very
yeah.
unique.
Honestly, I love the way they did Herbie. He was really, really neat. I like the fact that they made his like his eyes is just really a VHS tape in there.
Yeah, there's a tape that's rolling. Yeah, it's so good.
It was
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. It's like that kind of idea, like
it was so
like
cool.
futuristic technology with modern day,
Yeah. One of the parts that I thought
machinations.
was so cute when he stores himself away in the spaceship, it's just like a little foam, cutout that he stuffs himself in, and he's like,
Yeah,
"Dee-dee-dee-dee." So cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I would love to have a Herbie flown around here,
What would your Herbie do? What would
doing
he
my
do for you?
bidding. Huh?
What would he do for you? What would Herbie? How would he
Oh,
operate?
I'd have him curate my toy collection,
Yeah.
dust, make me a sandwich, you
Okay.
know?
Okay.
Pretty
Not,
much what
not
I want my wife to do, but she doesn't.
So a little Herbie wife. That's kind of what you want to do all your little duties and everything. Yeah, I understand
No, but
that.
yeah, it'd be great to have a little Herbie helping me out.
I want a Herbie to like massage my feet.
I'm
Just
sure you
like
do, Michael.
yeah. What?
Yeah.
No, that wasn't in any other way besides just wanting to relax.
Mhm, I
But
bet it was, Michael.
okay, I don't like
Wink.
how you're turning. I don't like how you're turning
I know
Herbie
what
to a
you're
sex.
trying to say.
Herbie's not a sex bot. Okay, that's not what I'm trying to make
I
happen.
don't know what you're planning to do with your Herbie, Michael.
The old Herbie
I
Hancock.
can only assume.
No, my Herbie would be well trained and respected, a respected community member in
Nice.
where I live. So nothing devious or deviant like that.
That's
So
good.
that's good. I would treat Herbie with respect, obviously, while he cleans my back. Um, yeah. So yeah, Fantastic Four was fun, and then I think that's a great segue to some Fantastic Four figures with new figure smell.
Love that new figure smell.
I was fortunate to grab a few figures. I'll just show them off here. I don't do MCU stuff very much. Like I just said before, few and far between. I pick up some figures, but
It's true. I was quite surprised that you went for the Fantastic Four figures, Michael.
yeah, I just felt like.
You hate movie figures.
Well, no, okay, let's hold on. I don't hate. If I like the movie, I like the show. I'll get the figures, but I thought these looked really cool.
That's cool. You got the brother and sister pair, I see.
I mean, if you're gonna get a pair, I feel like that's a pretty good one. Also, I got one from the Hasbro breakfast, so I'll put that out there.
Oh, lucky you,
But
Michael.
but it did make me, like I looked at the figure, and I'm like, oh, it's really cool. Plus, I think this works also as a a standard Human Torch figure too.
Oh no, it's
Okay,
fantastic. We've gotten them at the shop,
yeah,
and
fantastic.
I've gotten to look through the whole line, and yeah, I'm definitely picking them up. I enjoyed the movie. I do collect the MCU figures. I like to have the roster, so
Hmm.
I think they did a good job on these. I liked all of them. So
And I think she looks pretty good. Like the likeness on
a
Vanessa
lot of
Kirby
people say
is
she
there.
probably has one of the best face renders out of all the Marvel MCU movies. They did such a good job with her likeness.
Yeah, they kind of nailed it. You see the artwork on the side, and then you look
I
at the
really
figure, like, oh, I can see that for sure.
Yeah, the packaging is great too. I really want to get the Silver Surfer because I loved her performance in the
Yeah,
movie,
yeah.
but I'm gonna get the whole wave. I want to have them all to put with my collection.
Well, if anyone out there wants a full wave, I know where they can go. They can go to Hidden Temple Toys.
That's right. Hidden Temple
Fantastic.
Toys. Yeah. I mean, before I saw the movie, I was like, I wonder if these are gonna sell. I wonder if people are gonna even care about this movie. And yeah, I mean, I think people underestimate how much people actually enjoy the Fantastic Four as in just
Yeah.
a franchise. And then the movie I think was really really good. So after the movie came out, I was like, yeah, I think these are going to do well. And sure enough, I mean, we've been selling them like hotcakes. People enjoy
Hmm.
the movie, and I think they love the way these figures came out. So, excited. So you can get these and many other fantastic toys, hiddentempletoys.com, or visit me in Selma. Or
Yeah, give them the old fantastic handshake, and then you can get some Fantastic Four figures for
there
sure.
you go.
Yeah, I think And speaking of Fantastic Four, Dragon Man is shipping now. People are getting Dragon Man in hand. He looks amazing. He's massive. I think watching the movie made people, reignite excitement for Fantastic Four as a brand,
Yeah.
and it's just it kind of makes you be like, oh yeah, this comic was so great. These characters are so cool. All the bad guys. Well, I mean, Mole Man in the movie is so great. I kind of wish there was more Mole Man. It's
Yeah.
so funny, so good. There's definitely in the movie. There's some gaps in terms of like. I mean, this is just watching it. There's like, it feels like there are pieces missing between scenes, and so everything feels kind of cut in really scattered ways.
And
Just as a movie watching perspective, I like it still works, but I definitely feel there's parts missing. And
And I think that's why when I say this is a big movie, I tell that to a lot of people. This is a really big movie, and they put in a lot of stuff. I mean, they've tried to encompass this like world where the Fantastic Four have been around forever, and they've done all these great things. And so it's really hard to kind of like give us all that background and then also tell a story and then keep it within the 2 hours. And
yeah,
so that's why I say for it being such a big movie, and they went for a big story in this movie. This was a big out of this world experience that they did for the movie. And so
yeah.
for all that they try to put in for like this opening movie for the Fantastic Four, just kind of the first steps in telling their hotel. They did a good job. Like you said, it felt a little bit here or there was missing stuff, but I think overall for what they were trying to do, it didn't feel too bad. Where you were like, oh no, I can't follow. You still were able to get a good story and kind of go with it, even though you might have had all the details you would have liked.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, John Malkovich had a character that got cut from the movie, which I
Yeah,
think was sort of like the beginning montage or stuff, maybe a little bit more detailed. And then some stuff from Mole Man, I believe, got cut out. And there's just like little pieces here and there. I still enjoyed the movie very much, but there's little bit that just I felt like, oh, that's weird how things jump from point A to point B or whatever. But
yeah,
that's just. And then also, I mean, I don't know if you want to mention it now, but the end credit scene, the post credit scene, how
yeah.
big stakes are involved with that one. Curious how that's going to really play into Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, it's definitely a very interesting what would you call it? Little teaser they did there. And so, yeah, I mean, what are the ramifications there? Obviously, Franklin's going to be a big part of that. We get to see what's going to happen. Obviously, Doom is going to have some sort of parts here and there. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm as interested and intrigued as you are, Michael. I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
There
So,
you are.
that wasn't very fantastic.
I don't know what just happened.
We're gonna use that joke and burn into the ground until people are tired of it. No,
We already
I was
are.
just saying. I was just saying. I'm also intrigued to see where it goes. We got a long gap from now until Doomsday. Well, from now until Spider-Man, which I think is the next movie, which is a year from now. Which is kind of nice to be like, oh, like you saw a good MCU movie, and now you are excited for the next thing that happened. You're not just
Yeah.
over inundated with
I
with
think
MCU
we've kinda missed that, we
over
haven't
inundated.
had that excitement for the next MCU project in a while,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
this is kinda setting it up that hopefully, that Marvel excitement will start trickling back into people.
Overexposed, I meant overexposed to MCU. Over inundated is that's redundant.
We don't know what you're
So
saying.
I'm just mumbling stuff. So
You sound
don't
insane right
mind
now.
me. I'm feeling insane. I feel like I've lost my mind, and it's about that time where like I just like all my motor functions stop functioning. I can't speak words right good anymore now.
It's
But
terrible, Michael,
But
terrible.
I can show off figures. I can always show off figures. That doesn't require a lot of skill. I finally got the Psylocke and Thanos 2 pack. I'm very excited to have the game reverse line continue and possess it all like Infinity Stones.
What do you think? I mean, you saw these live at the show, right, Michael?
Yep, I did.
You had already seen them. I remember getting mine last week, and I don't know, to see them in person and to really get a good feel of what they're gonna look like and take them out and mess with them. They are so much fun. Like I can't stop playing with this Thanos. He's just so cool.
It's
He's so
great.
much
Yeah.
fun. His little antennas. Oh my gosh, this guy. I don't know why I love this version so much. I used to love him in the game, and I love him now.
Well, that's the whole reason. I was actually playing the game last night, just for kicks. Just like just thinking about those figures. Maybe I want to play the games, and vice
Mhm.
versa. And now that the figures are coming out, it's like, oh, I can't wait to get those figures and actually play around with them and put them in those poses from the games and everything. And I don't have to deal with the frustrations of losing to Magneto and Children of the Atom. Like I played it yesterday, I lost for like 20 minutes straight. I'm so bad at that game.
You
It's
stink, Michael.
ridiculous.
You lost your
So
edge.
stinky. So yeah, I really did. I gotta get it back.
It's that
So
con crud.
it's a Concorde. I'm trying to wash it off. It's still there. It's still
You gotta,
thick. So
gotta get it off you,
um,
Mikey.
yeah, trying to. Well, when you get it off of you, then you can put on some nice clothes. And we do have nice clothes. I want to give a shout out to Justin at Bandai. He was super gracious with his time, gave me a tour of the Bandai setup that they had at Comic Con. And since he was such a gentleman, I had to. I had to give him, a little something,
Bestow him some amazing swag.
some amazing swag. So here he is rocking our figures down,
Ah,
included shirt. Shout out to Justin. Super cool dude, great guy. And I mean, he was handsome before. Now he's damn right beautiful with that shirt. So
I mean, it really, really brings out the color of his eyes.
it really does. It goes from yeah. It's good. It's good. I don't know what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something mean, but I decided to take it back because he's such a
No,
good guy.
Michael. Why do you have such a dark and mean personality? Just say nice
Because I
things.
play these video games and they get me frustrated and I have to take them out on people. That's why I need to go to therapy.
Well, anyway, before we go, I got a couple things I wanted to show off. Thanks to you, Michael, for being such a fantastic correspondent at San Diego Comic Con and for also grabbing me some amazing swag. So there's definitely a lot
Oh,
of great things from Comic Con, but a couple things that I really wanted and I was hoping to get, and Mikey was able to deliver for me. One of my all-time favorite stories, and this is the reason I started reading DC Comics. A buddy of mine gave me Kingdom Come. And when I saw this figure show up overseas, and I was like, I want it. And then I saw that it was going to be available. Mikey was able to grab me Kingdom Come Superman, smoldering edition.
hey.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
check that out. Such a cool version of Superman. I mean,
Such a
if you
cool
guys
figure.
read the book, you remember this panel. I mean, after the explosion, he's just smoldering there in his suit all red, and like to capture that in the toy, I thought it was super super fun. I just thought this was such a cool gimmick. I like recolors and repaints and everything, but
McFarlane's the guy for those.
oh
So
yeah, he knows what he's doing. And this comic book and this specific moment in it were so iconic to me. So this figure just really was like, yeah, I love it.
cool. And you know what?
And
That could easily be the last McFarlane DC Comic Con exclusive, considering that he loses the
I
license
know
next
last
year.
next year it's all
We'll see
Mattel
what they
now.
come. Yeah, it's on
We'll
Mattel. So,
see what
but
happens.
yeah, that's a cool one to get. Yeah, awesome. I'm very happy I got you that because you were like, I gotta get that one. I gotta get that one.
Yeah, it's
And
just something I
actually,
really wanted. It wasn't like this, like, super particularly rare or amazing piece. It was just
super.
something very cool that I just really enjoyed because I love that story so much. And so, I didn't know if this was going to be available anywhere else. So I figured, hey, why not? If I
Yeah,
can grab it, let's get it.
I'd
Same
rather
thing
grab
with
it.
this next one. Um, you know, uh, People are familiar with Four Horsemen, Mythic Legions. I'm a big
Hmm.
fan, especially the Four Horsemen. And this was, I believe, their first big showing at a Comic Con. They haven't really shown or had an exclusive at Comic Con that I'm
They
aware of,
hadn't been at Comic Con in a few years, more
right?
than a
It's
few
something like
years.
that.
Yeah,
So they
been a while.
debuted their RPG
Mythic
game, I
Legions
guess,
RPG.
doing,
Yeah.
and they decided to do a commemorative figure for Comic Con and for this edition. And so Mikey was able to snag me this bad boy right here. And
Oh
man,
yeah.
this thing is so cool. The packaging itself is just really beautiful. And then, giving them those Comic Con black and gold, it just looks so good. and
Nailed
so
it.
many great accessories. And what a great piece. This is the way to do exclusives. And I was kind of late in the game for Mythic Legion, so I don't have a lot of the earlier figures. So it's kind of fun to have like one of these like kind of more exclusive pieces. And the fact that
Hmm.
this one just looks so cool. I love the way they did his cloak there, and just this figure is just really really neat. And you get a cool little D20 in there
Yeah.
to play the game.
I love that they made a very Comic Con specific one with the colors.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it just, but that's such a thing with Mythic Legion. They do the like convention exclusive that at every convention that they go to,
yeah, yeah.
whether it's like in Atlanta or Legion's Con or wherever it is. The fact that they went for Comic Con after being away for so long is so
Yeah,
cool,
it was
and
very,
that
very cool.
and that makes that such a cool piece to have in your Mythic Legions collection because
Yeah,
everyone loves those exclusives, especially Mythic Legions fans.
very exciting. So I'm gonna take my hat off to you, Michael.
And I'll tip my cap to you, sir. So,
Oh,
yeah, man. But
good
toy
stuff.
explosions all over the place, whether in San Diego, New York, or North Carolina, all around the world. We're happy to give you toy news. Any last thoughts before we get out of here?
No, man, just keep collecting, keep enjoying the hobby. That's what I say.
Yeah, there's always a lot of negativity sometimes in any hobby, any place in the world. But with toys, you try to keep it light, try to keep it fun. That's what it's about. You kind of bring it back to these nice nostalgic moments in your life, and that's why we collect and why we
Yeah,
just kind of keep collecting, and the figures get better, and we should as well as people. That's what I
yeah.
say.
Model ourselves after the toys. Get better every iteration.
Get
Let's do a little
better,
bit of improvement.
get bigger, get more nimble.
More
I think that's
swole.
more swole, like the Wolverine. So
Exactly.
that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go do some push-ups right after
Go
this and
swell
go throw
yourself,
up.
Michael.
I already feel swollen, so I don't know how much more swole I can get.
Plump yourself up.
I'm trying to, man. It's hard. It's hard, but
Get on those
yeah, there you go.
roids.
Well, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't think that's the message I want to give out
Is that?
there.
I thought that's what you're saying, that you wanted collectors to
No,
get
we
on
want to
roids.
get drugs out of toys. That's the problem. Like,
Oh,
take the drugs out of
that's how we
toys.
did it. We started that off with that, huh?
Yeah,
How
we
did we?
started off
You
with
see, we
get
ended
the
up
drug.
back. This is why it always goes wrong.
It's an
Can't
evil
break the
cycle.
cycle, Michael.
You can't break the cycle, man. You just get lost in it. So that's what we'll do every week. And then remember, this is episode 22. Episode 25 will be going live. We'll put out the time and day out soon. And then we'll let you guys know. And we would love for you to
Yeah,
join. And we'll do
yeah.
some nice
That's something
giveaways
special.
and some fun stuff. Yeah. So it'll be a really fun episode. But thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, do all your shopping at Hidden Temple Toys. And then we'll catch you on the next one. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. See you
Hey, Michael, can I
later.
have your toys?
No, man. Figure's not
Why?
included.